probably held this piece of paper hundreds of times. Maybe you've used it to buy a snack, tip a waiter, or left it forgotten in your pocket. But have you ever stopped and wondered, who is the man staring back at you from the $1 bill? And why has his face remained there for generations? Because this isn't just a dollar. It's a tiny piece of American history. The face on the $1 bill belongs to George Washington, the first president of the United States and one of the most important figures in American history. Every single day, millions of $1 bills move through stores, restaurants, banks, and wallets around the world. Yet most people know very little about the man whose face they see almost every day. So let's change that. George Washington was born on February 22, 1732, in Virginia. Long before he became president, he was a military leader. During the American Revolutionary War, Washington commanded the colonial forces fighting against Great Britain. The odds weren't exactly in his favor. His army faced shortages of food, supplies, and even proper clothing. But despite the challenges, Washington led the colonies to victory and helped secure America's independence. Because of his leadership, many historians still refer to him as the father of his country. In 1789, George Washington became the very first president of the United States. At the time, there was no guidebook for how a president should lead. Everything was being created from scratch. Washington helped establish many of the traditions and standards that future presidents would follow. He served 2 terms and then voluntarily stepped down, a decision that became one of the most respected examples of peaceful leadership in history. Although George Washington appeared on American currency as early as the 1800s, the version of the $1 bill we recognize today comes from the Federal Reserve Note series introduced in 1963. And surprisingly, the overall design has remained almost unchanged ever since. That's more than 60 years of carrying the same familiar face. Now here's where things get interesting. Turn the bill over, and you'll notice 2 unusual symbols. Most people see them every day without knowing what they mean. On the left is an unfinished pyramid topped by the Eye of Providence. The unfinished pyramid represents growth and strength, suggesting that the nation was still being built. Above it is the Eye of Providence, often interpreted as a symbol of divine guidance and protection. Look closely beneath the pyramid and you'll find the Roman numerals MDCCLXXVI. That number translates to 1776, the year the United States declared its independence. On the right side is the bald eagle, America's national bird. In one talon, it holds an olive branch, symbolizing peace. In the other, it holds arrows, representing defense and strength. Together, they send a powerful message. America seeks peace, but is prepared to protect itself when necessary. Here's something most people don't know. The $1 bill isn't actually made from regular paper. Instead, it's produced using a special blend of 75% cotton and 25% linen. That's what gives it its unique texture and makes it far more durable than ordinary paper. And despite being used constantly, the average $1 bill survives for about 6 to 7 years before it becomes too worn out and gets replaced. Today, the $1 bill remains one of the most recognizable banknotes on Earth. But it's more than just money. It's a reminder of the man who helped shape a nation and the symbols that tell the story of America's beginnings. So, the next time a dollar passes through your hands, take a closer look, because you're not just holding currency, you're holding a small piece of history. If you enjoyed learning the story behind the $1 bill, subscribe for more fascinating stories hidden in everyday objects. And tell us in the comments, what's the most interesting thing you learned today? See you in the next episode.